Hey guys, what's up? I am Nikhil from dopemotions.com and welcome to this brand new After Effects tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a New Year motion graphic animation inside of After Effects without using any third-party plugins. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you do, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet, and hit that like button just for the YouTube algorithm so that YouTube can share this video as much as possible with the viewers. With that said, let's jump straight into After Effects and get started. Alright guys, so here we are in After Effects. Let's start by creating a new composition. Let's go with 1920 by 1080, called this render as our main render comp. Hit OK. Then create one more new comp, which is going to be a text placeholder. You can also use a logo if you want to. I'm going to call this text and hit OK. Then I'm going to select the text tool, and then you can of course type in any text that you want. And again, you can use a logo if you want to. I'm going to type my text, the perfect new year. The font I'm using is the Miraculous Christmas font. I have mentioned the link in the description. And by the way, you can download the complete project file absolutely free from the link in the description below, which contains all the assets that I will be using in this tutorial. Let's adjust this the way we want, and I'm going to align this into the center. I think I'm going to make this a bit smaller like so. Now let's add some more detail to our text. So I'm going to go right here and select the star tool and create a star. Now when I create the star, you can see it doesn't look right. So to fix this, I can go into the polystar 1, polystar path 1, bring down the roundness to 0 and adjust the inner radius like so. So here we have our star. I can select this and align the anchor point in the center, bring that down. And I can place it the way I want. I can even duplicate this. So hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. I can place one right here and place a few more like so. And then I can adjust the scaling of them. Just make them a bit random. All right, so this is looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna right click and create a new adjustment layer. We can call this transform. Go into effects and preset and search for the same effect, that is transform. Double click to apply that and skew this by -7, so we get a really interesting look. Then select the text layer, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, put this below, and then I'm going to switch this to strokes. So I can just simply click on this small icon. It's going to switch this to stroke. I can add a stroke property of 2 and then just move them a little bit like that. I think 2 is a bit too much. Let's go with 1. That looks much better. Or let's go with 1.2. That looks much better. And I think this is looking pretty good. I can adjust it the way I want. And yep, that is looking quite good. So our text is ready. Now let's go back in the render comp, create a new composition called this REF for reflection. And I'm going to create a nice reflection for our text. So in the assets, I have an image that I will be using for this particular step, but you can of course use any image that you want that has a nice contrast. So I think this looks pretty good. Adjust this like that, and then select the image, hit P to bring down the position. Let's move this right here. Create a keyframe, go all the way up to 10 seconds, and let's move this just like that. So we have a very simple, nice movement. Now let's fill this particular area. So I'm going to use an effect called CC Reptile. Double click and expand this from the right like so. Then go right here in the tiling and set this to unfold. So we have this very nice and simple movement. Then go into effects and preset and add a tint on this. Let's bring down the tint amount to around 75%. And then let's add a curve to increase the contrast. Just like so. And finally, it's a bit too sharp. So to fix this, I can add some nice fast box blur, a very minimal, maybe around 5% should be fine. Yeah, that is looking good. Now, before we proceed further with this tutorial, I just want to take a minute and talk about today's sponsor, Movavi Video Editor Plus. So the Movavi Video Editor Plus is a perfect video editing tool for literally everyone. Even if you have never tried to edit videos on a PC before, it will take you no more than 20 minutes to master this movie editor and start editing like a pro. You can not only edit videos with this, but you can add special effects, keyframe animations, use ready-made intros, apply chroma key to easily change background, and so much more. With this video editor for PCs, you can enjoy lightning fast file processing and rendering. So if you want to start video editing without going deep into the learning curve, this Movavi Video Editor Plus is for you. To know more about it, check out the link in the description below. Now let's go back into our render composition and drag the reference composition and drag the text composition on top of that, and set the track matte of the reference comp to alpha matte, so we get this really interesting look, as you can see. Then select the ref composition or the ref layer, go into effects and preset and search for CC Blobilize, which is a very interesting effect. Let's add that. Go into the blobbiness and change the blob layer from reference to text. Bring down the softness to 7 and the cutaway to 5, and change the property from lightness to alpha. And you can see we get a really interesting look, and it started to look very reflective, which is what we are going for. Let's go into the light and bring down the light intensity to around 20. That should be fine. I think 20 is a bit too low. Something like 30 should be fine. And also bring up the light height all the way up to 100. Then we can close this effect and search for curves. This effect is going to help us to achieve that nice golden color. So first of all, I'm going to jump into the red channel. Let's drag this one just like around there. Go into green channel. Let's increase that as well. Let's go into the blue channel and I'm going to bring that down. So somewhere around like so. Okay. We can go back to RGB and let's play around a bit with the contrast. So there we go. Now it's looking very, very nice. We have that nice golden feel to this. So yeah, that is looking pretty good. So if I preview this, you can see we get this very nice reflective text. Now, if I want, I can even hide this so you guys can see it more properly. You know how reflective this is. Pretty cool. Let's turn that on and yeah, we get this really nice look. Now let's select this, hit Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose it. You can call it anything that you want. I'm going to call this design and hit OK. Now let's add some cool assets that I have right here. So first thing that I'm going to add is the sparkle burst animation. So this is gonna give us this really cool burst. I can bring down the size actually somewhere on there. So it starts from here and it bursts out. And then I want my text to appear. So I'll go right here, select our text layer, go right here and select the ellipse tool. And let's create a mask holding Control and Shift or something like that. I can hide this for now so you can see what I'm doing here. Go to actually 1 second. Create a keyframe on the mask expansion and let's bring that out so that we can see a complete text. That's good. And then go back to 0 and let's bring that down. So something like this. So now it reveals our text, which looks pretty good. I can select them. I can go into keyframe assistant and easy ease them. So we have something like this, pretty cool. And now we need to align this with the sparkle burst. Also, I can increase the feather to around 50. So we have something like that. And now I can align this with the burst. Yep, that is looking pretty good. And let's also animate this. So let's go right here, hit S, create a keyframe, go back and set this to around 20% should be fine. And now we have this pretty cool animation. Then let's select this layer, go into effects and preset and search for again the transform effect. Double click to apply that, and let's add a scale animation on this. So create a keyframe here, go all the way up to 10 seconds or maybe 6 seconds, because our animation is going to be 6 seconds long, and set this to 110. So now we have a constant scale animation here. Pretty cool. Now I think the scale animation is a bit stiff. So let's select the keyframes, right click keyframe assistant, easy ease, go into the graph, and I'm going to tweak this a little bit. So let's hold shift and drag this like that. So we have something like this. Pretty nice. So that is looking good. Now let's go ahead and add some dust particles on this. So I'm going to put this on the top, hit S to bring down the scale, and let's keep it right here. Set the blending mode of this to screen. So now we have some very nice dust particles in the background. Looking pretty good. And finally add some glitter on this, but put this behind the text. So now we have something like this. A very, very interesting look. And then I can bring down or animate the opacity of the glitter. So let's select this, hit T, create a keyframe on the opacity, go all the way up to 5 seconds and bring that down to 0. And now we have the fade out of the glitter and our text is looking pretty dope. So now let's preview this, and I think it came out really nice. It looks pretty good. Maybe I can move the dust particles a bit forward in time. So something like that. And let's see. Yep, that is looking pretty damn cool. So using some very simple techniques, you can create this cool animation for a New Year promo, or if you want to create any social media post or something like that, you can use this. You can even create a Christmas greeting. So you can do a number of different things with this animation. So that is all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to create a cool New Year promo animation inside of After Effects. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Also press that bell icon so you always get notified whenever I post a new video. With that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care and always stay raw, stay creative. Peace out.